Blake and Justin were wearing very similar color palettes. Interesting.
The moment Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni walked into that Manhattan courthouse, it was clear this was no ordinary celebrity disagreement anymore. There were no smiling red carpet poses, no carefully staged photo opportunities, and no polished Hollywood charm left to hide behind. Instead, what unfolded behind those courthouse walls was the latest chapter in a legal and personal conflict that has quietly become one of the most explosive celebrity disputes in recent memory. The mediation session had been ordered in hopes of avoiding a public courtroom showdown, a final chance for both sides to settle their differences before the case escalated into a full trial. But
I'm not saying it was coordinated deliberately. I'm just saying, that's strange.
According to multiple reports, that hope collapsed almost as quickly as it began. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni were reportedly kept in separate rooms throughout the mediation process, a detail that revealed just how deep the hostility between them has become. When opposing parties cannot even sit in the same room to negotiate, it usually means one thing: the damage has already gone far beyond repair. For fans watching from the outside, the breakdown of mediation may seem like just another Hollywood scandal, another headline in an endless stream of celebrity legal drama. But this case is different, because at the center of it are two stars whose public images could not have been more carefully built over the years.
Secondly, Blake showed up alone. No Ryan.
Lively spent more than a decade shaping herself into one of Hollywood's most admired and marketable names. Her rise began when she became a household name playing Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl, the cultural phenomenon that transformed her from a young actress into a global celebrity. Audiences were drawn to her effortless charisma, her glamorous image, and her ability to appear both relatable and unattainable at the same time. Over the years, she expanded that fame beyond television, moving into film roles, fashion campaigns, and entrepreneurial ventures that strengthened her image as one of the entertainment industry's most polished and powerful women. Her marriage to Ryan Reynolds only amplified that status. Together, Blake and Ryan became one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, known for their playful social media banter, red carpet chemistry, and carefully curated image as the glamorous but down-to-earth power pair of modern celebrity culture.
I wonder if Ryan, Justin showed up with his wife and he looked calm and collected.
They represented something audiences love to believe in: the fantasy of fame without dysfunction. Their relationship seemed immune to scandal, untouched by the controversies that often consume high-profile couples. For years, they projected control, confidence, and stability. Justin Baldoni's path to fame followed a completely different trajectory. While Blake rose through glamorous mainstream celebrity culture, Baldoni built his career on sincerity and emotional intelligence. Best known for his acting breakthrough in Jane the Virgin, he became more than just a recognizable television face. Baldoni cultivated a public identity centered around vulnerability, compassion, and social awareness. He openly discussed masculinity, emotional healing, and gender expectations in ways that made him stand out in an industry often criticized for superficiality. Through interviews, books, speeches, and directing work, Baldoni positioned himself as a thoughtful, creative voice who wanted to challenge Hollywood norms rather than simply profit from them. That is what made their collaboration seem so promising at first. On paper, the combination of Blake Lively's star power and Justin Baldoni's emotionally resonant creative style looked like the perfect formula for success.
Happy, and Blake looked kind of stressed out. And
industry insiders expected their project together to generate both commercial buzz and critical praise. But somewhere behind the scenes, that partnership began to fracture, and what was once framed as artistic collaboration slowly transformed into accusations, resentment, and legal confrontation. The precise details of what triggered the fallout remain tangled in competing narratives, legal filings, and leaked communications, but one thing has become undeniable. Whatever happened during production created wounds severe enough to push both parties into court. Reports suggest that disagreements escalated far beyond ordinary creative tension. Alleged accusations of manipulation, reputational sabotage, and behind-the-scenes hostility began surfacing, creating a portrait of a working relationship that had completely collapsed under pressure. And then came the leaked messages. Few things intensify a Hollywood scandal faster than private communications becoming public evidence, and in this case, alleged text exchanges linked to Ryan Reynolds have added an entirely new layer of controversy. Messages described in reports have been characterized as emotionally charged, deeply confrontational, and revealing of tensions far beyond simple professional disagreement. If true, they suggest that Ryan Reynolds was not merely a supportive spouse watching events unfold from the sidelines, but an active and emotionally invested participant in the larger conflict. That revelation has sent shockwaves through public perception because Reynolds has long maintained one of the cleanest reputations in Hollywood. Witty,
I guess Ryan is out doing what is not in his nature, which is attempting to put out fires.
likable, and universally marketable. Now, even his image may be vulnerable to the fallout. The public response has been fierce and deeply polarized. Blake Lively still commands enormous loyalty from fans who believe she is being unfairly targeted and over-scrutinized because of her fame and influence. To her supporters, this legal battle is another example of how powerful women in entertainment are often judged more harshly than their male counterparts. But Justin Baldoni's defenders argue the opposite, that he has been systematically isolated, discredited, and pushed into a defensive position against far more powerful Hollywood forces. Social media has become a war zone where every new update sparks fresh outrage. Comment sections are flooded with accusations, theories, and emotionally charged reactions as fans choose sides in real time. Entertainment media outlets, too, have treated this case as more than just gossip. Industry publications are closely following each filing because the implications stretch beyond the individuals involved. Studios are paying attention, agents are paying attention, producers are paying attention. Because in Hollywood, a legal battle like this creates a dangerous ripple effect. A star attached to scandal becomes a financial risk. Insurance costs rise, projects stall, contracts become harder to secure. Even if no legal verdict has yet been reached, reputational damage alone can alter careers permanently. For Blake Lively, the stakes are enormous. Her brand has always depended on trust, elegance, and audience affection.
And gave interviews in which he admitted to doing so and said that he hoped some poor schmuck wasn't served.
Unlike stars who build careers on controversy, Blake's appeal rests on being admired. If public perception shifts too far, even temporarily, that carefully protected image may become impossible to fully restore. Endorsement deals, studio confidence, and future casting decisions all depend on reputation as much as talent. Justin Baldoni faces a different but equally dangerous threat. His public identity has been built around authenticity and moral credibility. If the trial exposes details that damage that image, it could undermine the very foundation of his career. Baldoni's strength has always been that audiences believed in his sincerity. Once that trust is questioned, rebuilding it becomes extraordinarily difficult. Ryan Reynolds may be facing the most surprising reputational risk of all. For years, he has navigated Hollywood with near-perfect likability, balancing blockbuster success with charm and humor. But if his private involvement in this dispute becomes more central in court proceedings, that perception could shift. In celebrity culture, audiences are often more shocked when beloved figures are drawn into darkness than when controversial ones are. The failed mediation itself may prove to be the turning point that changes everything. Mediation exists to avoid destruction. It offers both sides a chance to protect themselves from the unpredictable consequences of public trial. When mediation collapses, it usually means compromise has become impossible, and that is where Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni now stand, at the edge of a legal process that could expose private grievances, internal studio dynamics, and personal communications in ways neither side can fully control. If the case moves to trial, the consequences could be explosive. Courtrooms do not operate like public relations campaigns. There are no polished interviews, no edited statements, no Instagram captions carefully crafted by management teams. Under oath, narratives are tested, evidence
Rather than start one, at least one that we know of, or,
is challenged. Private conversations become public record. In Hollywood, that level of exposure can be devastating because celebrity depends on controlling narrative, and courtrooms strip that control away. What makes this saga so compelling is not simply the fame of the people involved, but the collision of image and reality. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni each spent years building identities the public wanted to believe in. She represented elegance and poise, he represented empathy and integrity. Now, both are trapped in a conflict that threatens to unravel those carefully built personas under the harshest possible spotlight. And perhaps that's why this case has captured so much attention. Beneath the legal filings and media headlines lies something deeper: the public fascination with seeing what happens when Hollywood perfection cracks. Audiences are drawn not only to fame, but to the moment fame begins to fracture, when polished surfaces give way to uncomfortable truths. For now, the courtroom doors have closed on mediation without peace. No settlement has been reached, no side has backed down. The silence between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has only grown louder. And if this battle does go to trial, Hollywood may soon witness a spectacle far more damaging than